Hello there YouTube, and welcome to a small Carboot haul video, some toy fair finds and some goodies that show our oddpod. So, Carboot today, weather wasn't that bad, probably more sellers than there's been for a long time, but just didn't seem like there was anything good to find. First thing that I bought was this stained glass collectibles. As you can see, if you put it up to the light or you put a candle or something in there, it's gonna light up. It is designed, I think, to have a lamp or a candle or something in there. Box says super buy, now £20. This was from the guy who is the house clearance fellow that's expensive. He had two of them. They were identical. If they were different somehow, I might have got the both of them. But I picked this up. This was a £5. I thought it might be good for Dungeons and Dragons because it actually looks like it could be a half decent scale for that. It is about the size of like a Dungeons and Dragons figure. But anyway, spent a £5 on that. What was the next thing we bought? Probably, here's a small bundle of Lego, but I bought an entire carrier bag of Lego. If you saw the film from Wednesday where I pulled out all that stuff from the fellow at the Carboot's Hills yard, he said he collects Lego. So I thought, well, I'll buy the bag and I'll offer it to him. So I went around, showed him this entire bag full of Lego. Said I paid a tenner for it. He could just have the whole bag for a tenner. And he sort of ummed and ahed, and he said, I tell you what, I'm not interested in the bricks, but I'll buy any minifigures off you for 50p each. So I went through. All the minifigures are pretty old. Like, I remember those ones from like some space set, and this one I don't recognise, but he's actually pretty cool looking. He's got some like scuba gear, and then he's got some cool sort of logo of like a shark thing on him. And then there was a couple of police bikes. There was this hat, which I thought maybe could be a Harry Potter sorting hat, because it looks massive, but I could be wrong. There was this unopened Lego creator box, and one of these old school Lego things. So I took that out. There was about 15 other figurines. So I said, look, 15 figurines and the whole carrier bag. And I said, rather than give me a tenner, I want to come back to your yard. You can knock a tenner off whatever I take away. And he was like, oh, yeah, that's all right then. Because in his mind, I guess he's not even paying for it then, is he? So I'm going to say I got those for free. Although I paid £10 and got this little bundle, I'm going to get £10 of stuff knocked off of my next visit to the yard. So, yeah, I think that's all right. I'm happy with that. Right. What else do we get? I got this. Now, I don't expect anyone to know what this is or care what this is. I don't really know what this is, other than I had one of these when I was a kid. Now, I feel like mine didn't have this glaze to it, and I think it was a different sort of pose. I don't remember him having a bottle, but it was like a dragon, just like this. It's signed J. Hilda. I don't know if that's local or what, but I've never seen one of them since I was a little kid. And so as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I kind of have to have it, don't I? Because it's so many memories of that for me. He also had this little dragon, which is quite a highly detailed baby dragon, I have to admit. So I said, how much for the dragons? £1 each. This one's an Enchantica. God knows. But yeah, very, very highly detailed, this one. So I paid £1 each for those. This next little story is probably my most annoying thing of the day. Someone had a big box of Playmobil, which also the guy at the Carboot collects, but they weren't there for me to ask. And then I walked back round later on to see if they were still there. They still weren't there. Anyway, I went back and I saw that they had this 1995 She-Like, I think it's called, from someone correcting my pronouncing last time, so thank you for the correction. And they also had this one, which is another She-Like, and this one's like a little alligator. So as I'm going through them all, and there's not very many of them that are She-Like, I said to the lady, how much are these? She said, most of them are £1, but the She-Like and larger ones will be more. So I was like, oh, okay. And then she had two big Jurassic World dinosaurs, like the really, really big ones. So I said, how much are they? And she was like, oh, that one's 15 and that one's 10. So I was like, oh, all right. And before I could say anything else, there's a lady who just buys toys and sells them for ridiculous money there. She was like, oh, how much are they? And she was like, oh, well, that one was 15 and that one was 10. And then she walked round picked up a bag and just came around with a bag full of Jurassic World toys. Just like there must have been loads of them. And she went, how much you want for all of them? And she was like, oh, I don't know, 60 quid. And the other lady went, I'll give you 50. And she said, yeah. So missed out on 50 quid's worth of Jurassic World toys, but got two she-like dinosaurs for £1. So a bit annoyed about that, but never mind. Win some, you lose some. Wrestlers. Don't normally pick wrestlers up. There seem to be a lot of wrestlers in my videos lately. Normally wrestlers are a bit expensive at the car boot sale. These people were selling them 3 for a £5, so I was like, I guess that's not so bad. Now they're less than £2 each, and some of them are old ones. This is like a Rock in pretty good condition. It's a Titantron one. This is one of the Hardy Boys, I would assume. It looks like there's something going on there. I don't know what's going on there. Does he make a sound or something? Maybe. I don't know what he's meant to do, but it looks like maybe that's for a battery at the bottom. I don't know, but I'm guessing that's a Hardy Boy. This is one of the squidgy plastics. This is Road Dogg. This is WCW. It's Kevin Nash, his name. And then both of the Dudley Boys, which is unusual to find 2 of them together. So I had all the Dudley Boys, all of those. That was a tenner for them. Nice little fossil. That was £2. I don't know if it's been cracked and then glued back together, maybe? Yeah, it has. Yeah, that's why it's like that. Yeah, so cracked and glued back together, which is a shame. Didn't notice that early in the morning. And this bit of shiny stone, it doesn't actually show up very well on the camera, but it's a nice shiny rock. This is weird. This is Deadpool as a pirate. I've never seen Pirate Deadpool before. They wanted £2 for it, which is way more than I want to pay for an action figure that I'm not really that keen on. So I offered her 1. She said £1.50, and I thought, oh, bloody hell, we'll have Deadpool for £1.50 because the pickings are slim today. Got these 2 beat-up Transformers Type P things. This one says MC Toy and is missing a bit. I'm sure when I bought it, it had a bit on the back here which made it like a crane, which is now missing. And this one, which actually is a Bandai one. Bandai 1985 Robo Machines. It's probably a helicopter missing its thing there. And it's all very loosey-goosey. But they were 50p each. Happy with those. Bought this ornament for £1. I thought it might be good for Dungeons and Dragons. Bought this ornament for 50p. And this ornament for 50p. And when I just took it out of the bag to film it, I was like, I'm sure he had like another hand here and was holding onto a pipe. And looking in my bag, he did. He no longer does. So maybe that little bit of wood is just destined for binning. But so sad. Whenever I see wood stuff carved like this, it's like someone put so much time and effort into carving that. And then I just snapped it after buying it for 50p at a car boot. And now I've got to throw it in landfill. And it just breaks my heart. Anyway, on to the toy fair. Money's a little tight at the minute. So we couldn't buy everything, but genuinely, there wasn't a whole lot I actually wanted to buy and was like, oh, I would have bought that. There's like a £240 sealed G1 Transformer, but yeah, I'm not getting that, am I? Not even if I had the money. But there was this really nice Turtles bag, and as soon as I walked in, I saw it, and I'm really friendly with the guy who runs the stall. They're really, really nice guys. So I was saying hello to him, and I was just about to ask him about this, and someone else went, how much is the bag, mate? And I thought, oh, why did I start with the pleasantries and not just go, how much, mate? How much? Straight away. And they said a tenner, and he went, and walked off. And I was like, Jesus, man. I mean, how much cheaper do you want this to be? This is like some cool bag from 1990. It's now 35. So I went, yeah, if he's not having it, I'm having that for a tenner, mate. He also has a friend who knows me by name, but I forget the name of, which I feel really bad about. He had this bag of Commando Extreme KO figures. Now, I don't remember ever seeing these before, but there's, 6 of them in there? And he wanted £4 for 6, so I was like, bloody hell, I'll have some KOs for that sort of money. He also had this bag, which says that it's 1981 Castle Grayskull parts, and I was like, my God, if this is vintage Castle Grayskull pieces, look how many bits are in there. So I was like, yeah, I'll have that for £15. And then he has boxes of 3 toys for £1. So I bought this, I guess, G2 Transformer. This, which is some kind of Robo Transformer, but not any kind that I'm aware of. Can't see any date to it, so it might be one of those petrol station ones. And then lastly, to make it up to a £5, I picked up this very dirty, very beat up Mankind. So I was on 5 plus 4, I was on 9, 9 plus 15. So I was on £24, and he went, just give me 20 quid the lot. So then essentially I got those for £1. So I was like, yeah, happy days. Good for me. Fella had a little box of toys, saw the Space Jam figure and a few nerdlings, said how much each. He said £2 each. So I was like, what? Even for the little ones? He was like, yeah, even for the little ones. So I was like, no, I'll tell you what, mate, I'll give you 2 quid for him and £1 each for those, and we'll call it £5, eh? And he was like, yeah, okay. So in the end, £5 for them. This was also from the cool guys at Jurassic Coast Collectibles who sold me the bag. If you see my previous video, you've seen that I got this Turtles comic book, sticker book even, last Wednesday, but missing the cover. So I'm going to somehow try and wangle it so I merge the two into one. Bought this Star Wars Weekly comic for £1. Jurassic Coast Collectibles again had 4 toys for tenner. So this is original movie Mike. I think that's movie Splinter. Maybe movie 1. Had Biker Mice from Mars figure and this Extreme Dinosaur. I think probably the Extreme Dinosaur alone is worth tenner, so it was worth picking up. Another fella who I sometimes see down the Carboot and Cheddar had 3 boxes of these Turtles mutations. Now, they've definitely been out the box, because look, he's got damage on his arm there, and he's missing weapons and stuff. Like, he's meant to have a weapon there on the right hand side, and I'm not certain that pink gun is actually his, but it could be. Anyway, this one he had up at £15. Box is a little bit rough, but it's still nice to have them in the box. The other one he had was the Shredder, and one that's not on there, which is Raphael turned into a fire truck. So he wanted 15 for this one, 25 for Shredder, who was missing all his accessories. Oh no, he had a few accessories. And then he wanted 11.50 for the other one, which was missing a head. And he was trying to do a deal where he's like 43 for the 3, and I just went nah, and he went, all right, 14 for that one, seeing as I know you then. So I paid 14 for this, which I don't think's bad, seeing as it's, still in the box, even if it's been out of the box, but, with the box at least. So that was all the toys. And then I bought a few bits again for my Dungeons and Dragons thing. Good old Carboot Collectors came through, had this in a job lot, he said. Would me ma be interested in it for a doll's house? Of course she would, so we slung him £1 for that. Thank you, Mr. Carboot Collectors. Someone had a box of little bits that were like, these ones are £3, these ones are £2, these ones were £1, and I can't figure out which way it went. I think I must have paid £3 for the paving slab things, maybe, because I thought that would make a good base, like floor for Dungeons & Dragons. And then I think this was in his £2 box. These are like little lead minifigure things. I won't tell you where they're going to end up, but you can all guess. They're not going to stay at my house. And I think these were the trees he had that were £1. So that was £6 for those. This was £1. I thought it'd make a nice little weird tunnel thing for D&D. These were £1, these trees. And this scenic material dust was £1. And then I paid a tenner for this. Now, there was 2 of them. One looked in better shape, like less knocks. And then the other one was much brighter and more colourful. And I was trying to decide between the 2 because he wanted 15 quid each or 2 for 25. And I told him I didn't want 2. I just wanted 1. And then I tried the old tactic of, well, let's walk away and see what he does. And I tried walking away and he was like, oh, tenner if you want it. So while he wasn't looking, I sort of licked I'm trying to make this sound polite. I licked my finger, let's say, or knuckle, and rubbed it, and loads of crap came off. So I think that's going to come up a lot brighter in colour when I've cleaned it. And I think that's going to make a really good set piece for Dungeons and Dragons, because you can climb up it and fight on it. And I was thinking I could find something to block these sections off, both sides, and then you could either take them out to reveal like something inside, or just have an army in there, or a monster, or treasure, or all sorts of things. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And then lastly, for my boy Oddpod, who I got to speak to today, I'm just showing off a little eBay haul I got. As anyone who knows me in person knows, I really like having old tins of pasta. hanging around in my kitchen. So I found this Sonic one. It went really cheap, which I was happy about. And then a different seller had a few packets of crisps. So I got these Thundercats barbecue flavoured potato snacks. Unfortunately, they weren't 10p. Wish they were. And these Sonic the Hedgehog flavoured corn snacks. Now, I don't ever remember either of these things. Sonic the Hedgehog crisps. The date has, just faded away on this, but these say best before August 93. It seems mad to me that they were still trying to flog Thundercat snacks in 1993, but hey ho. Including the postage of all of the items, and if you sort of round it all together, it was just under 30 quid, so it was just under a tenner an item. You can think I'm mad, you can think I'm crazy, but it's really hard to find stuff like this. I don't know why I like having these old pasta tins up on the shelf. These are much harder to display, I have to admit. I don't know how I'm going to display these in my kitchen, but I do just really like having these things, because it's the type of stuff that, you aren't going to find in a box at a car boot sale, are you? Most people threw this stuff away because they were sensible. But yeah, never mind. So there you have it, guys. A bit of a disappointing haul from the boot sale today. Some cool finds from eBay, and then some stuff from the toy fair. Some interesting little items, here and there, and some cool stuff for Dungeons and Dragons. What more can you ask for on a Sunday, eh? Anyway, all the best, guys. Take care. Bye.